Tune in.
Boom, we're live.
Hello again, lads.
What did we say?
Oh, yeah. We said we wouldn't do a proper intro because we've pre-recorded one we've just implemented there into the audio, but you know me, guys, I just can't resist it.
Can't
I've got
resist.
the gift of the gab.
And we've got real audio today through trouble and strife.
We're getting more professional each week. You would have seen my apology on the last video.
Didn't look that professional.
Well, it was copyright image, but we've now got two mics working. Took the fucking piss. You won't believe how hard it is to get two USB microphones simultaneously into a laptop. We've had to download different software to just get these two mics working, so then the PC, who says that now? The laptop recognises.
Windows 10's a bitch.
Yeah, so the laptop recognises that two mics are plugged in. You can't do it like simultaneously just from the off without downloading software.
I'm sure Steve Jobs didn't have this fucking problem, let me tell you. Well, we're literally just watching.
Now, has he?
Rest in peace, Jobsy. We're literally just watching United Burnley, just walking out the tunnel now. Today,
Chris Woods looks focused.
Woodsy does look on point, and Popey's got a penalty save under his belt. But today we're actually going to record two today, but the one we're recording now, we're going to have a little chat about Liverpool Wolves, obviously playing tomorrow. The Reds march on again after another impressive win against Man United. But we have got a topic today, what we're actually going to do, with it being January, transfer window open, coming to an end in what, a week? Just over a week's time.
A week or so.
So we're going to be reviewing 10 transfers in Premier League history, the top 10 in terms of each club, what they've spent and who they've spent on. So go on.
Yeah, sorry, it's each club's record signing, and instead of doing all 20 and boring the arse off you, we've just picked a select 10.
Well, we also couldn't do all 20 in a sense because this window hasn't finished yet, has it? And we're going off last year's January, really.
Yeah.
So we've done our best, but there's some good ones, some interesting ones, and we're going to rank them from worst to best in our opinion. If you've got any comments, you know, put them in the comment section.
Send us a letter
At PO Box, yeah. As ever, Instagram page and all the rest of it will be in the description, and we'll timestamp it as well. So, Liverpool Wolves.
Yeah, prediction for tomorrow. Well, obviously, I think we're going to win. There's no reason to suggest otherwise. But I do think Wolves will be out for revenge after the Anfield game, which was just over a month ago. Under a month ago, I can't remember, but they felt as if they got robbed, didn't they? But technically, Lallana's goal, Mane's goal from Lallana's assist off the shoulder, was a legitimate goal, and their goal was chalked off to the letter of the law with VAR. That's a whole different can of worms, isn't it?
No, I agree. I think both decisions were technically right. Like it or loathe it.
Yeah.
I know there's been that big debate as well around the offside rule and whether, you know, there's daylight or whatever. But offside's offside, and until he changed the rule, it was right. And you know, we've been penalised. I mean, look at the United game on Sunday. Absolutely battered them. And the Wijnaldum goal that was chalked off was a fantastic goal. The Firmino goal that was chalked off was a fantastic goal. And I don't even think that was a foul on De Gea.
Wijnaldum's was offside.
Yeah, it was. It was, yeah.
The way he opened up his body.
And the ref called that. It wasn't really down to VAR, was it?
But Van Dijk on De Gea is a foul. It's like, what is, with the exception of goalkeepers, you can't foul them. Like, why are they exempt from normal in-play rules?
Still a player, isn't it?
I don't understand why a foul on the goalkeeper is always deemed as more severe. And if that's a foul on De Gea, the game's been in disarray in terms of contact for about 10 plus years, but it's getting ridiculous now. I know you've said, haven't you, you'd get rid of VAR in one of the previous episodes.
Yeah.
I do understand your point. I would get rid of it if VAR was to remain like this. But the only thing I'm holding on to is, and it was before my time, like, when you back passed it to a goalie and he picked it up, there must have been some teething issues with that. When the offside rule originally came in, it must have been some teething issues with that.
There still is, yeah.
I just think VAR can only get better, surely, from here, because the people who make the decisions aren't this stupid to just, well, you'd hope not, to just bury their head in the sand and not reform some of the rules that VAR has highlighted. They're just erroneous.
I just think the clear and obvious one is for the refs to just go over and look at the screen, but that's the refs just showing the height of shithousery by refusing to go over.
I thought that they couldn't do it. And then it was only recently when Michael Oliver had to go over.
I think he's probably the best ref as well, to be honest.
Yeah, he had to go over in an FA Cup game, Derby and Palace, and all the headlines were Michael Oliver, the first referee in British football to do a VAR check at the sideline. I just thought he couldn't do it in the league.
Yeah.
That's how unknown it was to me. Because I was like, so they've played 6 months of domestic football and not one ref has gone over yet. When they do it all the time in the Champions League and they were doing it in the World Cup.
They're just not. They done it in that guy done it in the World Club Cup final, didn't he? For us.
Ah, yeah.
That referee, he just stopped the game and went over, didn't he? And got the call right, if you want to say that. But he did make that decision. I think Wolves is away, isn't it?
Just watching the game, Ian, and Fred just dragged the shot.
Fred was on fire against us, by the way. Wasn't he?
Pathetic. Yeah, he was.
He had a good game.
Liverpool, but that was a pathetic attempt.
It's Wolves. Is it Wolves away or Wolves at home?
Wolves away.
That, on paper now, that's got to be in one of the toughest fixtures of the season, hasn't it, for anybody? They've got a monopoly over Man City. They keep beating them, don't they, all the time?
Yeah. I think it's probably our second most difficult fixture after City away.
What about United away, though? For some reason there.
I meant remaining.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I thought you just meant overall.
No.
What would you say is our toughest fixture overall? Where we just don't seem to get that result?
Well, it's been United away, hasn't it, specifically, but it's not so much they've been under we've been under the cosh against them at Old Trafford. We just haven't got our rhythm at Old Trafford, for whatever reason that is.
Yeah.
Doesn't half frustrate me when we play there as well? I'd love to go there and just do them like we do them at Anfield.
It must be the same for them when they were on the up, can you be arsed going to Anfield?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, Liverpool are going to try their best, and especially when we had, like, the Gerard Houllier side and the Rafa Benitez side, they must have just been like, fuck's sake. Because Neville said a few times, hasn't he, at the time, he thought with Rafa and Houllier sides, but I think he said in particular Rafa with the Mascherano, Gerrard, Alonso, Carragher, Torres team, he said we were like 1 or 2 players off being real contenders. So we had good squad players then, like you forget like Yossi Benayoun and like Fabio Aurelio and that. It's like players with proper quality that barely played.
Yeah, Benayoun's little jinx and his low centre of gravity in the spaces, or the half spaces.
Little jinxy Benayoun.
Yeah. Proper wizard on the board.
And off its wizard sleeve, more like. But you forget he's played for Arsenal and Chelsea as well, but I think to predictions then, I'd say tight 2-1 tomorrow, Liverpool.
Yeah, you'd fancy Wolves to score at Molineux. The crowd's always behind.
It's actually pronounced Molineux.
Ah, right. I'll know that for next time. But yeah, I'd agree with that.
Well, we got the McGregor one spot on, didn't we?
Well, you did.
Lad, we're a team.
Yeah. I said second round, no further than the second.
You said McGregor loses in the 5th.
And you and you went, you think it'll be reminiscent to Aldo, but not as quick. And I said, you're talking like within 60 seconds then.
And we were like,
old.
Yeah.
And you actually did put 200 quid on it. You went out there and you put your money where your mouth is.
I actually didn't. One of the lads who listened to the podcast said, did you put £5 on it then? Because that's what I said I'd stake. But I forgot all about it, to be honest. But yeah, you live and learn, don't you? I mean, True Geordie's come out and he's called us out. Nah, he hasn't. But he's come out and...
You bastard, Brian.
He's basically like done a recap video saying he won a few bob on it, like, which was nice. But did he call it like Trigger Dreads did? I don't think you did, True Geordie.
He's up McGregor's arse in.
He turned on him though, didn't he?
For smacking the arse fella.
Yeah, well, not just that, for everything else, but I think what people talk, we're going off on one ear as we tend to do, but people,
We're a couple of lads.
we're a couple of right sorts, but people go on about Anthony Joshua being a bit of a bitch. Like, there'll be fans out there on the couch and they're like, what? Joshua's not a bitch. But basically what we mean by that is he's like just the golden boy, isn't he? He's like Eddie Hearn's little lapdog, and people talk about like he doesn't take this fight, doesn't take that fight. But my point is, what he's did for boxing on a heavyweight level has catapulted the sport to a different level. Yeah. And Conor McGregor's done that in MMA.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
so like I'm all over him. What the pair of them have done is make the sport mainstream to the everyman, and that's where people get frustrated. They're like, you're a casual fan. Well, we're all casual fans, aren't we? At the end of the day.
Well, if anyone was a serious MMA fan, they'd be big fans of Bellator and Bama and Cage Warriors. But no one's asked about them.
Shout out to Paddy the Baddy.
It's just UFC, isn't it?
I wonder if he'd come on the show. No, you're right.
Like.
UFC is just a promotion.
Yeah.
Remember that time you said you reckon you'd do him in?
I did.
And then about 6 months later you went, actually, I was watching him and I think he could have me. This is Steve, by the way, who's done like one Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class and has had 2 fights in his whole life. He's gone shy, boys.
Lads, it was, I've done about 4 or 5 classes and I thought, it wasn't so much I'd outskill him. I just thought I could just overpower.
Well, if you sat on him now, you'd probably win.
I'm 220 at the minute, but let's be
5'2" he is. 220. Looks like Danny DeVito's penguin.
Nah, I'm carrying it well, aren't I?
Yeah, he's alright. You should have seen him fucking rock climbing the other day. Shout out to Awesome Walls. We've got a 12-month challenge as a group of friends to do a different challenge each month, something new. So this month we did Awesome Walls.
To step out the door.
I'm agoraphobic. So this month was Awesome Walls. Fucking hell. Seeing a 220 Danny DeVito climbing that wall and the fear in his eyes when he was coming down.
He's exaggerating.
Fucking priceless.
Danny DeVito, by the way.
Priceless.
He's got DeVito's hairline, mate. That's about it.
It's probably his nose and all. You've got his cock.
Probably. I won't argue with that one.
Yeah, so we have gone off on a tangent here, but yeah, so we've gone right off on the tangent. We need to get back on track.
Yeah, so I think we'll beat Wolves.
Yeah, I think we'll beat Wolves 2-1. We'll say. So we'll get into the transfers then with the deadline. Some are more obscure than others. I mean, this is something that we agreed on ourselves just before we went online. So we're going to start from the worst in our opinion and work our way up to the best. So we'll go through who the player is, the club is, what they signed them for, and just generally what we think. Yeah. So, do you want to go first and then we'll jump in?
Yeah, to reiterate, it's a selection of 10 clubs in the league, their most expensive transfer. So we haven't done, no offence, we've not done Huddersfield, we've not done Watford, but we've done like Leicester. Have we done West Ham?
No.
Well, we haven't done West Ham.
But it's also what... There's somewhere it's like, oh, he was just a shocking signing. But there's somewhere you think, well, actually, he might not have been that expensive, but his value to that club and what he's achieved in whatever amount of time it is might be, quite good. So we're going to look at it and we'll be starting at number 10. And you've got who that is, haven't you?
All right, yeah. So number 10, like, obviously... This guy could be like the 18th worst signing of the most expensive for each club, but we put him in at 10 just because it's the shite and we are triggered and we are a bit bitter towards Everton, so we couldn't not leave this guy out for being absolutely
dog shit.
Shite, yeah. And I don't give me all this, he tries hard, but Cenk Tosun, he's just gone out on loan to Palace, hasn't he?
He got a brace on his debut, one was ruled out, but yeah.
Yeah, but... It's not a break.
27. You're right, yeah. 27 million now in 2018. He was a Sam Allardyce signing, and he's one of these players that's been bought in big money in January. I think he scored about 4 goals for Everton. He just looks like such a Sam Allardyce player. He's totally immobile.
What was he like at Turkey then?
They called him the Turkish Kevin Davis.
Sam's always scouting the other nationality of Kevin Davis.
Yeah, he's going to sign a Kocha and his next club, and it still says he's only 36 on his passport as well.
Damn it, JJ.
So yeah, I mean, out on loan now at Palace, probably is very much more a Crystal Palace player than an Everton player. But yeah,
I don't even know what a Crystal Palace player is.
I think Crystal Palace tend to go for those robust, physical strikers, don't they? You know.
We'll sign someone and then just give it to Zaha.
Yeah,
That's the game.
That's the game plan until Zaha leaves and goes to Tottenham or whoever he's going to. Oh, Man United nearly in. So yeah, that's Tosin. I mean, we haven't got much to say about him. He hasn't been at the club very long.
It was more like they signed him just to back Allardyce for the sake of it. It was like, oh no, Sam, you're not into him. Here's money for Walcott and Tosin, he's been shit, by the way.
Well, yeah, Walcott's equally shite.
But it was like they sort of had to prove to Allardyce that you're not into him. So it was like, we'll just have to give this lad some money. Would you give Sam some money now to prove that he isn't, just to help us survive relegation? But he done his job, didn't he, Allardyce? He kept them up.
Yeah,
at the time.
And Tosin barely played, but no, you're right.
Everton went on to better things, as we all know, with Marco Silva.
Yeah, really good stuff with Marco. So we'll move on past Tosin. He was number 10, so number 9, if me maths is correct.
Santiago Munez.
I was going to say Santiago Munez. What an absolute player. And I still haven't seen goal 3. Is that when he goes to Mexico?
That's the World Cup, isn't it?
With Mexico, though?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, sound. So he actually looks quite similar. Is Miguel Almiron, 21 million quid, signed for Newcastle last season. And there's definitely a player there, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, when it showed us highlight reel on Sky Sports News, like what he was doing at who was he at, Washington or someone? Like,
I don't even know where they got him from.
Team in the MLS, but
oh, was he from the MLS? Yeah.
Yeah. You can't really. Well, you don't know what he's going to be like, do you?
No.
'Cause he's coming from. They say it's a Mickey Mouse league, but players like Gerrard and Lampard have said it's a lot harder than you'd think to play in it. It's way more advanced for the days of the New York Cosmos, and you had like Pele and George Best and all.
Yeah.
Beckenbauer, but apparently what takes it out of them in the MLS is the travel.
Yeah, Gerrard was saying that, weren't he?
An away game can be like 5 hours on the plane and stuff like that, but. Yeah, so I'd only seen him at the MLS and highlights, and he looked really good there, but he just seems the exact same player as he was there, but for Newcastle. Doesn't get many goals and assists, although he has just scored a couple of times recently. But
they're his first couple of goals as well, aren't they?
Yeah, he's left-footed, he's got bags of pace, and he's very direct. It was a Benitez signing as well. Yeah,
I think they've looked at him and Joe Linton as a good foil for each other, and it definitely... They're hard to play against. You see it in games. They all like Steve Bruce deserves a lot of credit in my opinion. He's got they're in the top 10, aren't they? Newcastle just outside of it maybe.
Yeah.
And you know he hasn't really spent much money. He's been written off before he kicked the ball. I think they've done it right, but I think that Almiron's definitely a player. You can see he's got it in him. He just needs to convert the chances and the runs and the effort he puts into a couple of goals. If he could get 10 goals in all comps, you'd have him in that side, wouldn't you, all day of the week?
Like them numbers there, you say he'd be a snip at 21 mil.
Yeah,
that's what he was, obviously.
And it's not a lot of money in today's market. It's less than Cenk Tosin anyway.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he's number 9. We've moved on to number 8.
Yeah, number 8. We've gone for Chelsea. And it's Christian Pulisic. There's a bit of a grey area with him though, because they signed him in January and he didn't play for them until after the summer. But technically the deal was done in January.
58 mil.
Was it 2019?
2019.
Yeah, 58 mil, so a lot of money, but not for someone like Chelsea. And you're signing an attacking player of that calibre nowadays, it's the going rate, isn't it? But he started off slowly, didn't he? He was under the cosh a bit because they were like, they've signed him, they've let Hazard go, and he's supposed to be the direct replacement sort of. But then at the time, Mason Mount was
on fire,
bagging the goals. I thought Pulisic had a good game against us in the Super Cup.
I was going to comment on that. When I was watching him, I didn't think we could handle him. It was obviously the start of the season. And differently from last season, we were playing that weird high defensive line, weren't we?
Yeah.
And he was just running riot over the back.
Well, if you time your run right, it's so easy to exploit, isn't it? If you've got pace,
Yeah.
you know, a high line.
Well, lucky the whole back five really, including the keeper, but the centre backs are lightning fast, aren't they? The pair of them.
But then he was out the Chelsea team, wasn't he? Or he was in the team and not performing. Because I think they played United away. They got tonked 4-0 on the first game of the season.
Could have been very different though, that game.
They were unlucky. Abraham hit the post.
Yeah.
It was a classic Fergie United performance.
It was a proper... Abraham, if I remember rightly, proper smashed it, didn't he? And it cannoned out off the post, could have went anywhere.
So... he was a bit hit and miss at the beginning, but then he started finding his feet. Old Christian, and it was it the Burnley game away? He came to life. I think he scored 2 or 3 in that game.
Old Christian, by the way, what is he, 19?
But it was like he was like, now I've arrived here now, lads.
Yeah.
And before him, you would just say the best Yank was in the Premier League, like
Clint Dempsey.
Yeah, Dempsey. Yeah.
Landon Donovan.
All right, he only spent about 2 months collecting.
What about Brad Friedel?
Our goalkeepers don't count.
Well, what was... Slabhead's ripped his shirt. That's...
You're looking at his chest.
What chest, lad? Fucking... Stop it, you. Is that Jonesy? That is a bad-looking pair of centre-halves, that.
You look like Phil Jones.
Oh, fuck off. Fucking cocksucker. Slabhead and Phil Jones, that's terrible to look at.
That probably is the ugliest pairing, isn't it?
You're not going to get much uglier than that. Really not, are you? It's like Crab and Goyle have grown up into them too. But no, I'd say probably Clint.
It's really funny, that.
Probably Clint Dempsey, innit?
Yeah, that was my mistake with the Yank.
Yeah.
The thing is, Donovan was sick, but he was only at Everton for 1 month at a time, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. They loaned him in, didn't they?
He was good on the right, though, him.
He was quick.
Anyway, Pulisic, yeah, like, he's still got a lot of time, hasn't he? Like, he's been a good signing.
Again, no, with that,
I'd give him a 6 out of 10 so far.
I'd probably give him a 7, but for a kid he's come in from Dortmund. Let's not forget, so he hasn't come in from nowhere. And Dortmund have got that knack, haven't they, of signing players like Pulisic and Sancho, like the young kids that like have gone under the radar, so to speak. But you know, Chelsea made 2 signings in January, like last year. They bought that Kovacic in on loan, didn't they? Or was that in the summer? Yeah. And he signed Pulisic. They had a transfer ban and still managed to sign 2 players.
Fucking loophole.
And even Kovacic this season signed on a permanent, didn't he?
Yeah.
But because they had him on loan first, they were allowed to. It's a bit of a farce. Yeah. And now they're in for Cavani, aren't they? But he's meant to be on the way to Atletico.
Yeah. Well, that is such an Atletico sign. They're great at losing strikers, but then just replacing them all.
Yeah, it's like Diego Forlan and like all them sort of older players they tend to get, don't they, in the twilight of the career, and they get like 3 seasons out of them at banging goals. And they done it with Torres, didn't they? They bought him back.
I was going to say off the top of my head, they sold Torres to us like over 10 years ago. Then they had Aguero who come in.
He come through, didn't he? I think through the academy.
No, they signed him from, is it Independiente? But
did he?
You'd have to fact check me on that, lads. But
and girls.
So they had Torres, then Aguero, then I think they had Forlan. And then after Forlan, was it Falcao?
Yeah.
And then after Falcao, it's like players like Griezmann, Kevin Gamero. So they do well. They're like a conveyor belt of knowing who to sign to get them the goals.
They're a well-run club, aren't they? We'll have to do a preview on the Champions League game before we play them.
Yeah, definitely. So Pulisic, yeah, I agree with you. I'd give him a 7 out of 10. I'd have him at Liverpool, to be honest.
Well, we would always link with him, weren't we? After that was just because of Dortmund, obviously. But
yeah.
No, he's definitely a baller. You can see that in him. So he's number 8. So if we move on to number 7, we've got Lucas Moura from Spurs, and that was a £25 million signing in 2018.
Directly PSG was that from?
Yeah. And you got to think, 25 million for a player of his ability is not a lot of money at all. And he's one of these players, he's got bags and bags and bags of ability. Mourinho said to him when he signed for Tottenham, why didn't you come to me for whoever it was? He tried to sign him at a previous club. And you can tell that he's a player. And when Kane's been out at times, I think last season Kane was injured, and it was the Champions League final. Was Kane injured in the Champions League final?
No, he made his return.
Yeah, but in the build-up, he was injured.
Yeah, he was.
And everyone was going on about Kane, being out. And I said, and I think you agreed, I'd rather Kane played, because they'd been playing Son and Mora as a front two.
Yeah.
And they were devastating. They were devastating to watch, and the pace they had, because whenever Van Dijk plays against anyone, but in particular, like big strikers like Kane and Lukaku and that, he just has them in his arse pocket.
Yeah. Last season without Kane, the tactics, Poch changed the tactics, didn't he? But they were a lot more dangerous without Kane. When he's got the ball, he slows the play down for them. He drops back a lot, and the thing you get with Mora and Son is just pure directness, like I
energy.
said about Almiron before. Like he's that same similar player, isn't he?
Yeah,
Not
but
as
they've
good.
got a lot more end product,
not
haven't
as
they?
good as them
In
two,
particular, Son.
But Kane isn't that. Like already, Kane's doing that thing we said about Rooney on one of the previous episodes. Like Kane, no one's ever been as raw as Rooney.
No.
But he's gone from a potent goal scorer, still gets the goals, but now he wants to get involved in the play more. Daniel Sturridge was doing it at us. I don't know if it's because his legs went, but he started dropping really deep, and he's like,
Yeah.
you should be in the box, mate, little fox in the box. Lucas Moura, though, yeah, what a signing. I think the January transfers go one of two ways, don't they? Like, you either pay over the odds for someone, or you get someone in shrewd, and Moura reminds me of Coutinho.
Well, I was going to say, that year we got Coutinho and Sturridge for 20 million.
Brilliant deals then. They're probably two of our best signings. Period.
Ever, yeah.
For the impact.
And the money we made on, you're never going to lose money on either of them, that price, but the money we made on Coutinho, which led to Van Dijk and Alisson signing, was very shrewd business.
But when PSG signed Mora from Sao Paulo, this is about 4 or 5 years ago, I was watching Valencia v PSG in the quarterfinals at the Mestalla in Champions League on
in Champions League. Get to Burnley.
But,
Fred's fucking lashing him in from everywhere.
So tame.
Yeah.
Like they're just terrible.
Very accurate and slow.
But Mora had the ball from the right back position in the Mestalla, and it was in about 7 or 8 seconds. A big direct run just got to the other end of the pitch, and it's that he has this ability which it's few and far between. Eden Hazard's got it, not dribbling specifically, but it's like the ability to turn defence into attack at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Lucas Moura has that ability. He could pick the ball up from deep and then just drive at you, and if he doesn't get touch with the ball, your defence is you've got to be aware. Like
again, I'd have him in the Liverpool squad all day.
In the squad, yeah. But I just remember watching him for PSG and that, and thinking, fucking hell, this kid's good. He's got ability here. Like.
Yeah, definitely. And it's probably harsh that he's number 7 on the list, but as we move up, we've got reasons why, haven't we?
To be honest, I don't think he's fulfilled his potential, which is what a lot of Brazilians do, or they don't do rather.
Yeah. Full of ability, but it's the application, isn't it?
Yeah.
And whether he's played for the right coach or not, because he didn't get the very best Pochettino, did he? And I know they got to the Champions League final last year, but they weren't the great Spurs of Pochettino's era for me.
You always have a team, don't you, that stumbles through.
Yeah, one of the reasons I didn't want to play them was they reminded me of us in 05. It just seemed like all the luck was going with them, and they were overcoming every obstacle, and you just don't like to lose to an English team in the Champions League, do you?
I was never really worried.
No, as soon as the pen went in, it was done, wasn't it? But
yeah.
So we've got Mora at 7. So if we're moving on to number 6, it's Luka Mijovic from Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
13 million he signed for in 2017.
Yeah, quality signing. To be honest, I can't say I've studied this guy, but am I correct in thinking that they had a solid centre mid in Jedinak, a penalty taker, and this Mijovic has just gone in like for like, and he's just done the job and a bit more than what Jedinak's done?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Jedinak was that player. He looked like a bloody Spartan, wasn't he? Or like Chabal or somebody from France
Yeah.
back in the day. But Milivojevic is signed for 13 million quid. He's the club captain, Burnley, playing out from the back.
Was that much?
13 million?
Oh, 30. I thought you said
No,
3
13.
Ah,
Gonna say, what? How sarcastic can you get?
Shrewd Palace.
Shrewd Palace, yeah. Why doing it again? Better than Poulsen, but he takes the penalties. He's always a good pick for fantasy footy because he always gets the penalties, and he probably gets about 8 goals a season through pens.
Wouldn't take advice from him. He's rock bottom.
I've stopped playing, but people that do well at it always have Milivojevic in. I think he's about 6 mil or something, 5.5 mil. But he is definitely a shrewd signing. He's very combative midfielder, a bit of a rat. I think he's Serbian, but he puts himself about the park, and I think he's definitely a fan favourite at Palace. So he's higher on the list than maybe the likes of Pulisic and Mora, because he's been doing it longer as well.
Well, it's the pound for pound worth to a club, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, he's way more integral to Palace than Pulisic is for Chelsea.
And equally Mora for Tottenham, yeah.
So you got to think of them things as well.
So yeah, I do think definitely he has to be on the list, and he's in there at number 6. So do you want to do number 5?
Yeah, number 5, we've ranked Juan Mata. To be honest, he's a top quality technician. Some of our regular listeners will know the admiration we have for a technician in the midfield. He is one of our favourite players, isn't he? You know,
Yeah.
Like, not now, but when he was at Chelsea, Valencia, something about Valencia and producing great technically gifted left-footed players.
Spaniards.
Yeah, David Silva, Juan Mata. Do you ever remember the winger Vicente as well?
Yeah. They had, at the same time they had Vicente, they had Joaquin on the other wing. And I remember, like, when we were young, we were like, we're linked with that Joaquin.
Yeah.
And we could never say his name when we were like 14, 15.
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix and all that. But yeah, well, at the time, I'm sure they had, you'll have to fact check me on this, but this might have been their midfield. Hugo Almeida, the Argentinian, Vicente on the left, Joaquin on the right, and Aymar in the middle. Like, that's a solid midfield. And in the midst of that, they had Morientes.
Yeah, well, David Villa was there, wasn't he?
Dave was there as well.
Aymar might have been just the generation prior.
I'm sure he was still there.
You're probably right.
But it was
Aymar.
a solid team, wasn't it?
Yeah, Aymar tearing us apart. But Juan Mata's just missed the sitter there. But
he actually cost, though, 37 million, and keep your point there. In 2014, that was still a chunk of change.
Yeah.
Especially in January. And I know he came from Chelsea and that. But what do you think about how he's been at United?
Well, he's been one of the better post-Fergie signings, without a doubt.
Was he a David Moyes signing?
Yeah. Moyes' third signing, because
Fellaini was probably number 1.
Well, I think this is only because I've got a good memory. It was this right back called Varela, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And then it was Fellaini, and I want to say Moyes signed Alexander Butner, but I might be wrong. It might have been Fergie.
Your butters, bruv.
But yeah, he signed Mata in January for 37 mil directly from Chelsea. He just won the Champions League with Chelsea 6 months before.
I thought he was their best player too.
Yeah, well, in that Napoli game, when he scored the away goal in it, they lost 4-1, and Mata rescued a goal for them. And yeah, games like Barca away, when they drew 2-2 and all that, he was pivotal for them. But a bit like Alexis Sanchez and a lot of other players United have poached from rivals since Fergie left, they've not hit the heights, have they, that they did at the previous club.
No.
Like, Alexis Sanchez was arguably, I don't know, the best player in the league, or at least top 3.
He was one of the top players in Europe at the time, and when we were discussing that the other day, watching Man United, at that time I thought, shit, Man United are back. Do you know what I mean? When they made them signings.
Yeah. But
like Voldemort.
Yeah,
He's back.
Yeah, great player, Mata. Low centre of gravity. Plays with his head always up as well. You'll notice, like, he's always looking what a passing line he can exploit, what through ball can come off, and
You can't beat a good left footer.
He's not been as good as you know, a lot of other players in that position since he signed for United, and I just think it's because he is a victim of the tactics at United.
Yeah, I think he's been undervalued at United.
Yeah, 100%.
If he was at Arsenal, for instance, under Wenger,
Yeah.
you're getting a different Juan Mata, aren't you?
Yeah.
If
yeah,
I was
definitely.
Arsenal, I would have stipulated Juan Mata in the Sanchez deal, or at least said we want first dibs.
Oh, is that for when they had Sanchez, are you saying, or?
When Arsenal sent Sanchez to United, I would have said to Arsenal,
Yeah.
I would have said, if I was Arsenal, we want Mata.
Yeah.
Because Cazorla was on the outs, weren't he?
Well, they got Mkhitaryan, didn't they?
Yeah, but Mkhitaryan was shit.
I know. Good at Dortmund, like.
Yeah.
Good for Armenia. But then again, you'd even be good for Armenia.
I probably would.
So yeah, he was 5th, did you say?
He was number 5, yeah.
He's another one, by the way. At the time, I would have bitten Chelsea's hand off to sign him for Liverpool back in 2013.
100%. And even if you said to me now, would you take Juan Mata for 15 million? You know, for 2 seasons, he's happy to play 10 games a season. I'd rather have him in the team than Adam Lallana.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather have somebody who's technical than... We'll talk about Lallana another time, but he's the first player off the bench now, and he's fucking crap. He's just he's just a headless chicken, isn't he? I know he puts the effort in and all the rest of it, but the academy lads can put the effort in, and some of them have got a lot more talent and
We've always
desire.
Said that. We're going off on a tangent here again.
But we do that. Triggered.
Yeah. But like, Lallana there comes off the bench, and all these fans, like you say, he works hard and all that. You could literally get a kid from the academy who works as hard as him. And alright, he might not have the stamina he has, but end of the day, we signed an attacker mid for 25 mil at the time to make the difference in key moments, and he just never does that. He's had spells, but that's about it. He's had spells here and there in the odd season, but not good enough, mate. I always knew like he would never really
live up,
cut the mustard, hit the heights.
Yeah.
I would rather have Mata over Lallana. They're both the same position, aren't they?
So number 4 is Adam Lallana. No, it's not really. Number 4 is Wilfred Ndidi for Leicester. Now the top 4, you know, after Wilfred, who's a high level player and has proven that now, especially with the interest he's getting from bigger clubs than Leicester, they're all elite players after that level.
Yeah.
So, you know, the Leicester lads signed for 17 million quid.
That's quite a steal, isn't it?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he the direct replacement for Kante?
Probably, yeah.
Who you can't really directly replace, but indeed he's a big physical guy, and you know you're in a game whenever you watch him play. You know the midfielder in for a battle with him in the team.
Oh, ball.
Got to be a goal. Great defending from Burnley. Tony Martial was in on goal, and there's been a big tackle made from Taylor.
He's overrated, Martial, you know.
I think technically he's unbelievable, but it's getting it out of him. I think if he played for someone like Klopp or Pep, you'd have an absolute world class talent on your hands there.
That's a given though, like what you're saying there, innit?
Yeah, but like in terms of his ability though, his technique, how he shoots, how he runs with the ball,
well,
he's got everything he needs.
Them players are a dime a dozen. They have all the attributes, and like look at Ryan Babel. You know, for us, he's the same as Martial. Both play on the right, both dead pacey, both runner at the defence. You know, with very direct, but what did he do at the end of the day?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
They just frustrate me so much. And by the way, they paid 57 million for Martial.
Yeah.
When he signed, he was winning them games like under Van Gaal.
Well, do you remember when he signed?
His finishing looked on point.
It was.
Like, wow.
It was on point. But do you remember Martin Tyler when he signed and he scored that goal against us? He couldn't have had a bigger fucking hard on for Man United that day, could he?
No.
Like, he got past Skirtle, I think it was, and it was just fucking disgusting.
Goal of the day was Benteke's anyway.
Yeah, that just got totally overshadowed, didn't it? So yeah, we've gone for Ndidi at number 4, and you know I think he's vital in this Leicester team who are doing really good things. And Brendan Rodgers, you know, he knows players. He's a good coach, and you know he's brought him on again, and he allows players like Maddison and Barnes, and Barnesy and Damari Gray to do a lot of attacking work, and he does a lot of the dirty work for them. But what I think we should do is recap the top 10 so far before we do the top 3.
Yeah, I agree.
But before we do the top 3, after the recap, we'll do a few honourable mentions.
Yes, sound. And Ndidi's one of them as well, isn't he? Like we said the other week about centre defensive mids.
Yeah.
Juxtapose in terms of the build. You either get them like Conte, Verratti, Jay Spearing.
He's in the mould of Catamole, him.
You either get them that physique or they are like Patrick Vieira,
Yeah.
Mohamed Sissoko, like Wilfred Ndidi.
Fabinho, very leggy and limmy.
And Ndidi obviously fits the latter. You know?
Yeah, he did Jay Spearing mould. So yeah, Wilf gets in. So if we go through, we've got at 10, Tosin. At 9, Almiron.
All right.
At 8, Pulisic.
Good.
7, Mora.
Good.
6, Milivojevic.
Good.
5, Mata.
Okay to good.
4, Ndidi.
Yeah, good.
And we'll do the top 3 in a sec because we have got some honourable mentions. On the list that we've actually got was Emiliano Sala for Cardiff, who they signed for 16 million. Obviously, we didn't get to see him play in the league. Obviously, there was the plane crash, which was quite tragic. But
sad story, yeah.
We thought that he deserved an honourable mention because he might have been a top class player.
Yeah,
and in particular for Cardiff, record transfer signing. Obviously, they're not in the league anymore, but he might have been a player that could have kept him in the division. So we thought we'd give him an honourable mention. Arguably, the best signing ever. You can take that one away.
Yeah, we think the best January transfer signing ever is Suarez, no doubt about it.
No doubt about
21 million. Number 7 legend playing for a former number 7 legend in Dalglish. He just hit the ground running. And even though he wasn't prolific in his first season...
He did things though, didn't he?
Mate.
Do you remember that goal against Sunderland?
Wizard with the ball. Yeah.
Where he shot on like that obtuse angle.
Yeah.
And he hit it outwards and it bent in.
Past Mignolet.
Yeah.
That
should have been a sign, yeah.
That's when he thought, get him, sign Mignolet.
But he another thing with him is he went totally under the radar because of the Andy Carroll signing and the Torres debacle.
Yeah, definitely. Well, was it supposed to be Suarez? We were just signing and we were going to keep Torres?
Yeah, when Suarez signed, Torres was still at the club. Can you imagine that?
That would have been better than Andy Carroll, like.
Only just. Don't get me wrong, no. I loved Andy Carroll. Like, on his day, I've always said it, he was like a Didier Drogba.
Yeah, he was.
Like, unstoppable.
You've said it before, but he was a cult player. Like,
yeah.
One of them players where obviously the shit to the neutrals, but
the fans got behind him.
Well, he gives you big moments, doesn't he? Like,
like the FA Cup semi-final against the shite. If he would have started the FA Cup final against Chelsea, I believe we would have won a double that season.
Yeah, I suppose that's all qualifies for a cult player though, doesn't it?
Well, it's like Divock Origi, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's very much the same now. Yeah. Like, he knows what he is, and he's never going to be a starter. And Shaqiri can be like that. I know there's rumour. Oh, Burnley 1-0.
Right.
Great goal, Woodsy. Wait there for VAR. Looks like it's good. Woodsy's got a shiner.
That's United out the title race.
Yeah, it's good. It stands. Woodsy 1-0.
United are shit.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
He must be at Old Trafford though, their fans just sitting there like, this is shit.
Hang on, let's just double check VAR here. Well onside. Great finish.
Harry Maguire with his top quality marking again.
Yeah, he's shite, Maguire.
Swivels Wood there, gets goal side.
He's fucking shite, lad.
Yet Wood still somehow gets goal side within 2 seconds.
He is shit, Harry Maguire, you know.
That's poor, that.
It's piss poor. Matic
doesn't win the header.
No, he gets beat by Ben Mee in the air. Great win from me. It's like a 2-touch finish, that, isn't it? It's his shin and it's his foot, Woodsy.
Like Sorrow, that little fox in the box. Little chicken coop mauling.
So yeah, that's that. Well, obviously Andy Carroll, yeah, he was honourable mention. Suarez has to be the best.
Yeah, and I'll give some credit to the Manx because they signed Vidic and Everett, I think, in January, and they're like club legends, effectively, aren't they? Yeah,
so, they are.
They were good players. I think Vidic was only 7 million as well.
Speaking of Everett, did you hear what's recently happened with the club and him? he got a letter from our chief exec. What's his name?
Edwards.
Moore.
Michael Moore.
No, Peter Moore or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He just had a letter of apology regarding how Liverpool handled the race debacle at the time. With Suarez, and Patrice said on after the Liverpool game the other day, obviously there was a lot of hype around Keane and Carragher having it out, but Patrice said it shows the level of class around Liverpool Football Club, and he said, you know, Liverpool are an arch enemy, but you know it's a club which is run with class right through the course. Thought that was worth a mention. But yeah, you know, again, going back to Coutinho, Sturridge, wow, you know, what a pair.
Oh yeah, notable sign.
I remember Gerrard said if we would have had them at the start of the season, he genuinely believes would have been in top 4. And that season, arguably, when we signed Coutinho, some people might disagree with this, but that might have been the best Coutinho I've ever seen.
Well,
he had that little afro.
Curly hair, yeah.
Yeah, and he was playing deep, and he was putting these outside balls through for Sturridge. And at the time, Sturridge still had his legs.
Outside of the foot, and it was very much like we said about Mata before. It was like you playing with your head up constantly.
Yeah.
Like, just the spatial awareness of men around you. And
You've got that spatial awareness of men around you, haven't you, lad? You and Pleasant Kev having a lovely weekend. Shout outs to Pleasant Kev.
But I'm always after a good time. But anyway, yeah. Like, he had that spatial awareness where he was just able to stride and beat men, and
he
wasn't really going into full gear with his pace either. There was a game at Wigan which stands out where Stuart Down broke the deadlock. But Coutinho was just running it, lad.
Yeah.
And then Suarez just linking up, and then Down was even taking the piss. Obviously it was Wigan away, so they weren't going to do anything. But yeah, he just tore the arse out of Mario Melchiot.
Mario Melchiot.
He was absolutely ruined, Melchiot.
Yeah, fucking class. Well, yeah, top 3 then. Yeah, as I say, the first one we've got was pretty obvious, but the second and third were a close run race. But
and obviously it's not on quality; it's top 3 on price. You know, these are the most expensive for each club now.
Yeah, but also at the same time, in January, but at the same time, it might be quality for some of them.
Well, yeah, obviously, you know, ones that have... They all fit the variables we've stated to you as previous, so yeah.
So in third place, we've got Aymeric Laporte for City, 57 million quid. And if you watched...
from the Basque region.
If you watched... It was at Athletic Club, wasn't it?
Bilbao.
Yeah, Bilbao, yeah. So if you watched the Amazon special around Man City with Pep, you know, guys, you have to be brave, guys. Shut up, Pep, you sweater-wearing prick.
I was so inspired.
I bet you was. It was fucking cringeworthy at times. But they were going on like the owner of City, like, yeah, we really want to sign Van Dijk. You know, we think he'd just complete the picture. And he didn't sign Van Dijk. He signed for another notable club, which we won't go into, but Aymeric Laporte was...
where he ranks on the list.
Aymeric Laporte was second in command, really, for them, and he is a quality player, and I know this season City are all like, oh, Laporte's injured, that's why we're doing shit. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think a lot of clubs have found City out, and they've only got that one way to win. They have missed him, and he has been a top quality signing, and he's a batch of French young players that started to come through, isn't it? There's a few, like Clement Lenglet and Pavard, and no, he's a centre-back. Yeah, and there's Umtiti. We all like titties, but he's one of them. There's a batch of French kids coming through, and he's right up there. He is a top quality player. Left-footed, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. So I don't know who's the French centre back pair, and Umtiti and Varane.
Well, there's Varane, Lenglet, Pavard, who were playing on the left back or right back position, weren't they? They've got Mendy and all, haven't they?
I don't like Mendy.
No, I know you think he's just a Sissoko, don't you?
Well, his body language is just so emulative of Ali Sissoko.
Yeah, not Mo or Musa.
Honestly, watch him and tell me it's not Ali Sissoko reincarnated.
So initially we did have him down as being number 2, but we changed our minds, didn't we, for the number 2.
Mm-hmm. Aubameyang.
Yeah.
£60 million signing.
56 mil.
Yeah, 56. It's the, you know, that's a good deal, isn't it, on paper?
Well, he was a top level, world level striker, wasn't he, when he signed him?
Mm-hmm.
And he was, you know, we spoke about Arsenal in the past a few times, saying they've done everything he needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've done everything
They've
that they needed
addressed
to do.
every
Yeah.
problem on the field. Signed. They've put round pegs in round holes. They've done exactly that, and it just hasn't worked out. God knows why, but he's an exception to it. He is banging the goals in. Great record since he signed. Have you got his record there?
I'll get it up.
I'm sure people don't need to like proof because they know he scores like what 1 in 2, 1 in 3, probably more. But the only thing I will say about Aubameyang is when he was at Dortmund, I'm sure he was a bit quicker in terms of running in behind. It doesn't seem like he's got pace to his game much.
Here's his numbers. Oh, he played in the Joan Gamper Trophy, whatever that is.
I played in that when I was 14.
He got 1 in 1. So in 2018 in the Europa League, he got 8 and 12.
Good.
In the Premier League in 2017-2018, he got 10 and 13.
Sick that.
He got 22 and 36 in 18-19. He was joint top goal scorer, wasn't he, with Salah and Mane?
Yeah. So,
and he's already got 14 goals and 22 appearances this season.
So he's been a top signing, hasn't he? But as I was saying, and I know people will be like, "What? You don't think Aubameyang's got pace?" Not that. It's just when he was at Dortmund,
it was a different pace.
I'm sure like there's footage of him where he's maybe the Bundesliga's a bit slower, probably is, but he's actually got the ball, he's picking it up and then he's breezing past someone. He may still do that now, but none of his goals are really goals in the sense that he's taking the game by the scruff of the neck, using his pace and then putting one.
He's just more like a poacher now, isn't he?
Yeah, they're all poaching, tapping goals, and honestly, watch Aubameyang from this point on, and you'll notice that a lot of his goals are just fox in the box types, which is great. That's exactly what you want from a striker. But I just thought when they signed him, he would be a bit more direct in terms of running in behind, terrifying the defence, and then, you know, converting the finish. I'm trying to think of a comparison, like there's loads, but for some reason my mind's gone blank. Think of a striker like that, not like Etu, but, you know, someone who's just direct, like, I don't know, Benzema at Lyon or someone like that.
Oh yeah, I know. Yes, I know what you're trying to get at.
Yeah. Henry-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he'd be more like that, where, as we've just said, a lot of his goals are fox in the box types, and
I think if he was playing for a team with a solid defence, obviously
more licence.
Yeah, they'd be picking up a lot more wins, and he'd be playing more on the shoulder than half time 1-0 Burnley. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the Gollum looking fucks, walking off in despair. Sean Dyche looks like he's warming up his vocal cords.
Get that piece of glass out.
Get that glass ready. Get it ready. So yeah, we've gone for Arbor at number 2, and you can't argue with that. And arguably, in recent times, he would potentially be the best signing in January, but like we alluded to when we were at number 3, there's only going to be one winner.
Well, I suppose if you were to review Klopp's signings in his managerial career, Aubameyang probably makes his top 10.
Maybe even top 5.
Yeah, like, who knows? That's just a wild little point out there, but yeah.
But the top one, it's got to be Virgil van Dijk, signed for the Reds. And
he's a number 4. Watch him defend.
That little out of rhythm clip.
And we watch him score.
That's not a soundbite, guys. That's Steve's actual singing voice. But he signed for the mighty Redmen in 2018 for 75 million.
Snip.
At the time, eyes were raised, but within a month, I'd said I would have paid double already. If
1 month.
If
I went to his debut against the Shite. Little
when he scored,
in the 86th minute.
I just don't think there's a. We had a poll on our Instagram account, and it was, is Van Dijk the best player, the best defender in world football? And we had quite a good response on it, to be honest. But
who's disagreeing with that?
There was actually, I think there was like 56% of people said yeah, and there was loads that said no.
Must have been like staunch Yerry Mina and Harry Maguire fans.
So we put it back out there and said, who is the best defender in the world then if it's not Virgil van Dijk? And I know we just named a couple of good young French lads there, but like, what was Roy Keane's comments on him? Beast of a player, beast of a man, something like that.
That was it. He's a beast of a man, beast of a player, and it was
apt.
It was Roy Keane narrating it on a slow motion highlight of Van Dijk's goal against United the other day, and who was on him? Brandon Williams and Maguire maybe, and he's just towering.
Yeah.
Towering over the both of them. Obviously he's going to do that to Brandon Williams, but to do it to Maguire as well, who, by the way, I think he's had a shit season, as we said last week. He's the most expensive centre-back in history, so it was also like another little 1-0 for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beating Maguire to it, or Maguire might have lost them in marking, but you get the
Well,
point.
he's had the most touches, the most passes ever in the league, because it all starts from him. He's got this technique how he passes the ball just effortlessly with he's just an awesome defender. Just on United quick though, try and keep this one under the hour. I do think Wan-Bissaka should be playing centre back because he's unbelievable at defending and he's mediocre at going forward. I think if you had him playing next to Maguire, you might have a bit more of a balance, because Dave Sam Maguire to replicate what Van Dijk's done, haven't he? And like Rodgers said, we've got cover, we don't mind if he goes, and then they bought in the Turkish slabhead Soyuncu.
They should probably try and sign Pereira from Leicester, then move Wan-Bissaka over to centre-back.
You're talking about a good back five, then with an on-form Luke Shaw, or this Brandon Williams.
Or, I don't know, do you adapt it to where you get a better player who's further up than him to accommodate?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't move Wan-Bissaka to centre-back, but you sign a right mid who's better at defending.
Yeah.
At helping him out.
Potentially. So just to recap
I don't know.
Before we sign off.
Yeah.
10 is Tosin, 9 Almiron, 8 Pulisic, 7 Mora, 6 Milivojevic, 5 Mata, 4 Ndidi. Top 3 is Laporte, Aubameyang and Virgil.
Yeah.
So I think we've nailed it there.
Yeah. I'd probably say Van Dijk's one of the best long ball passes as well in terms of accuracy. They just always seem to go on the toe. Obviously, as a centre-back, you get more time on the ball. You're not under pressure to pick one out fast, so he's always got his head up, he's able to do it, but even if he was under pressure, he'd still pick someone out.
Yeah.
For like 40 plus yards. Yeah.
Well, we got there in the end. It took longer to set up the Wi-Fi.
I know, piss take.
The next episode is going to be a special on Mo Salah.
Running down the wing.
We've had a few comments on Salah in probably every episode we've done so far.
Egyptian king.
And this, my backup singer there, this is going to put to bed our comments really and see what you guys think about it. So keep an eye out for that one, and we'll see you shortly.
Night, lads.
Ta-ra.
There are always a couple of people who can tell you, yeah, but you didn't win. So now, let's talk about 6, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be.